Okay, so welcome back to the Radio Trigger podcast once again. With me, I have my two co-hosts once again, Tony Lion and the anime bro. I will said Radio Trigger.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about just some aspects of our favorite anime, like OST, art, and what were you guys going to talk about again?
I was talking about world building and story, and
Okay.
Lion was talking about characters.
Yeah, characters.
Yeah, so
Totally forgot there.
yeah, and we're all gonna have like our own little anime that we think does well in all those categories. So you guys want to get started with the anime?
I think you should start. You're the host.
Okay, I will. So I'm gonna what I want to start with my anime that I feel like has a really good OST and also really good art is Gurren Lagann. I know that's probably not a popular opinion because if you watch Gurren Lagann, you know that the art can be pretty inconsistent sometimes, but like mostly at its peak is what I'm referring to. Like if you watch Gurren Lagann, you know that it does really well when it's at its peak. It's really sharp and everything, and it's just generally like I know like animation doesn't really count here, but like if you're considering both art and animation, it was pretty ahead of its time for the time it was made, which is like back in the early 2000s. So yeah, I think it does really well there. I think it has a really nice color palette. It's very colorful, and especially later on in the series, and it can kind of alternate between that and when it gets more serious, the colors get more drowned out and more white and kind of just grayish, and like in certain parts of the story, the art can change to fit the narrative more, and I think it's just really good overall, and it just continues to develop and evolve over the course of the series lifetime. And when it comes to the OST, I feel like it has a really good one. It's really unique. It doesn't really stick to like any specific type of genre or anything. Sometimes they'll have rap in there, sometimes they'll have rock, sometimes they'll just have a bunch of different OSTs, and a lot of them fit for the theme of the show and different parts of it. I think it really goes together well with the art and just everything in the series in general. I feel like it really does OST well. I feel like you can really, like if you ever make a video, you can probably have Gurren Lagann OST as background music or something. But yeah, I think it does really well in those two areas for those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of art, yeah, I'd say it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like it. I don't normally focus on the art. This is why I'm not actually giving my opinions on this, because I don't really like care when it comes to art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music, I care a little bit more. If the music works fine, then
Yeah.
because most of the moments I remember either have like impactful moments or their music is like it fits that tone. And when it comes to Gurren Lagann, there's only one song. I don't know what it's called, but it's like basically when something's going down, that's the song it plays.
Yeah.
And I really do like that. That was a really cool
Yeah.
piece of music I really like.
Yeah. For Gurren Lagann, I feel like the OSTs. I'm gonna touch on both of them a little bit. For like the OSTs though, it's not that type of soundtrack that you can just remember. It's not very memorable. Well, it is for like a lot of the soundtracks that there is. Like you said, there's that one. I'm pretty sure I know exactly which one you're talking about. But like if we're talking about overall, I feel like some of the soundtracks in there are just really memorable, but the other ones can be kind of forgettable. You don't really remember them. But I feel like Gurren Lagann is more of just an anime that you don't really remember the OST, but when you return to it, like every once in a while, you remember it and you're like, oh yeah, this was a really good soundtrack, and kind of remember everything, all the good songs or whatever that they use for different moments. But the art, I will agree, the art, it's never really something that's very important to me in an anime. It's cool to look at, but it's just like it's more of just like a cool aspect to me. If I don't really care if it's good or not, but if I could have a anime with good looking art, I would pick it. But
Hmm.
I feel like the art in Gurren Lagann, I just really like how it looks, and how it evolves over the time, that was airing, especially for back in the day. That's what's really impressive to me because for it to look that good way back in the early 2000s was really impressive. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like the art, it's it really benefits from it because it's like you can see what type of story they're trying to tell, kind of from like the art and everything. It's if it's more rough or more smooth, they're gonna be more serious in different moments. But they really use a lot of that because it's in a lot of moments, especially because since Gurren Lagann is a mecha anime or whatever, they like when there's battles, they like to use like a lot of rough art and animation and stuff like that, and like they really draw a lot of lines and stuff like that. So it's really good, but overall, I feel like it wouldn't suffer if it didn't have great art or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I literally just looked at a few pictures for Gurren Lagann to see what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to watch more anime.
Yeah. You know I'm a slice of life, so.
Yeah. Well,
Got some slice of life moments.
Yeah,
Kinda.
no, still a
yeah,
mech anime.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I'd say it's mostly mech, but like, it's one of those anime that just has like those cool down moments, and it's like not really all that much action and stuff like that. I feel like it really does those
Mm.
well, but it
I
is
mean,
overall
from
just it's more of a mech anime, so you'll probably it's
Yeah.
more of
I
that.
mean, so far from the pictures I saw, the animation looks fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty like I said, it can get inconsistent. Like I'm sure if you search for that, it's you'll see a lot of pictures where it's like just a lot of funny art and animation. But when they do try to put more you know better animation in there and art, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not thinking about it, dang, there was other personas that actually did kind of good art. Dang it, I should have chose this one.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks because can't listen to the OST on here because probably get copyrighted. But yeah, I definitely recommend listening to it whenever you get the time. It's pretty good.
I might put it in the
Oh dang, yeah,
background.
that could have been actually good for me too, because Persona actually is video game music, and you don't get copyright strikes if you put Persona
Oh,
music on. That would have been perfect.
yeah, that would have been
Uh,
nice.
I might put one of the OSTs from Gurren Lagann in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
after
it
all,
has a lot of nice ones.
it's just gonna get claimed the video, and I mean that's not really anything. So
Yeah. I,
Uh,
I've never heard of a video using music that got just straight up blocked. That would be kind of tragic.
my videos.
Man. Yeah. Most I've ever got blocked for is like a clip. I've never got blocked for music. Ever.
I never got blocked ever.
Because you do GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my anime. Gurren Lagann's really good with art and OST. It does some other stuff well, but yeah, those are just what I really like to see in anime, art and OST. They're nice.
Yeah. Good, good.
Yeah.
All right, who next?
I mean, I have the least to say. It's just characters so go lost.
Okay.
I think you should go middle, so then now
Okay.
try to carry the rest of this.
All right. Well,
Because I can go on forever, and yours is going to be like probably a little bit.
all right. Well, I'm actually gonna change my anime
Okay.
because I've spoken too much about Mushoku Tensei, so I'm actually gonna go with Death Parade.
Mm.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
Okay, so I'll try and like kind of sum up what the anime is about first. So, I guess the quickest way to explain it is there's just one bar. The one guy who works at the bar is called Dekum, and he's basically like the judge to say if someone goes to hell or heaven, basically.
Mm.
Or reincarnation or the void is be specific. But anyways, it's short, it's 12 episodes. But the main character Beckham, he is like he's a doll, he's a puppet, right? So he doesn't really have any emotions throughout the anime. But then there's a girl that works with him, and she's a human, so she has that emotions. And to see the conflict between someone who doesn't have emotions and someone who does is quite interesting. And with her, I guess, her influence, this is kind of a spoiler for the end of the anime in a sense, but he gets emotions towards the end of the anime.
Yeah.
And how am I gonna explain this without spoiling it?
Does he fall in love?
No. Okay, so after he gets the emotions,
Everybody dies.
he tried. everyone is technically already dead there. But he has to. He's finally like, I guess, he has to finally judge the girl he worked with, and so he chooses the path she's gonna take. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I just liked the I guess the conflict between the two of them, with the dolls that don't have emotions, and then a human that does have the emotions, and trying to, I guess, influence them to have their own emotions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so your thing was characters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about the characters, but it kind of sounds like
It's a character.
you can replace the doll with a super edgy guy who also has no emotions, and I think you probably get a similar story.
Nah, I mean he's a doll.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Lion. I think it's from the summary that he gave, I could see like where the characters would come in, like having emotions and stuff like that. I feel like it only works with a certain character because I know you if you guys watch Naruto, in like the end where he like he's basically emo for the entire series, but the end of Shippuden he starts understanding Naruto better or whatever. I feel like it, since he's like, they're completely different characters, this main character of Death Parade and Sasuke, like even though they're both have this like emotionless vibe to them or whatever, I feel like even though I haven't watched it, I feel like only probably this character would work for this series specifically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can I can see where
That's all I have.
yeah, I can see where a character comes in. It's like with the whole emotionless thing, and I'm assuming he meets a lot of people doing his job. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I can see like a lot
Yeah.
of interesting characters being introduced in like a show like that.
yeah. Each episode is like a new couple, basically,
Okay.
or like
Yeah.
two new humans, and then he. Okay, so they don't have the memories, of when they died. So they play these games, and
Mm.
throughout them playing the games, they start remembering their memories and how they died.
Yeah.
And with him that doesn't understand emotions and all that, the only way he can judge is so if they like lie, basically he's not gonna be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he pretty much fully relies on the memories of what they did.
Okay. Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I need to watch it. I've been planning to for a while, but when you explain it, it makes me want to watch it even more.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's short. It's 12 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably watch it like literally right after this podcast and finish the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I just need to do something to explain yours so far.
Okay. Go ahead, anime bro.
Okay. You know what? I, I'm just gonna do Persona. I was gonna do Fullmetal Alchemist, but I realized, you know what? I'll just explain Persona.
Um,
Even though I got story and world building, and I didn't want to do One Piece because everyone would have said that. When it comes to story, the one thing about one Persona that is really cool is that there is themes to each story. So each one is it talks about like a serious issue, not in just society but also in life. So I like in the third one, the theme is you shouldn't think that death is the only way out of like a situation. You should always find like purpose in your life no matter what you do. And Persona 4 is you shouldn't try to always go with the lie that you want. You should always try to seek for the truth,
mm,
and that really helps you grow as a person. And then also in like Persona 5, the theme about that is you shouldn't try to always do what everyone is wanting you to do. You should try to be your own person and try to actually do your own thing, because if you become your own person, then you're just a giant, like you're just a collective mind. Not you're nothing. You're nothing
yeah.
because you don't have actual, like, you don't have any goals, you don't have any ambitions, and it doesn't make you who you are because you have nothing to say. So in terms of story, their themes are very powerful, and it really is cool listening to them. World building wise, it's just not really as good as like other series.
Yeah.
It's mostly like there's multiple gods, and the humans are basically killing the gods, or not really killing, either sealing them away or basically telling them to get out. The fifth one they killed him, so that was so. In the fifth one they actually do kill a god,
Yeah.
so it's like that. But also, I guess with world building, it actually connects science and I guess magic in a bit, because even though like they did this in Persona 3 because there was like shadows came from a major source, and they were trying to actually try to find a way to stop all the shadows from coming. And in Persona 5 they do a little bit more because there's people who actually study this.
Mm.
So like you got actual people who go into the cognitive world and know how to. In fact, that's the one thing that makes the main villain so cool in Persona 5, because he actually understands the cognitive world and uses it to his advantage. So like he tries to alternate other people. He actually kills people by destroying like their palaces and whatnot, and it makes it look as if it's like an accident, not really like not really like, oh, someone killed somebody.
Yeah.
At some point, actually, at some point in like Persona 5, the whole point is like they change their people's hearts, but eventually when the main villain attacks someone, it actually makes that the heroes look like the bad guys, because it's like they changed his heart and then all of a sudden he's dead, and it's like, holy crap, what are they gonna do now?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of story, it has great themes, and then when it comes to world building, it kind of does like a connection to magic and what's it called? Science.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the world building sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like there's a lot that you can really do with it. Just the lore and everything, the gods and stuff like that. Um, I heard it was based around well, not based, not heard, but I know that the Persona series, like anyways the games, are like a
Yeah.
spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, and I'm not deep into that either, obviously, but I heard that that one had really
Well, and
good.
it kind of is, but the difference being that Shin Megami Tensei uses demons, while Persona uses shadows.
Mm,
It's very different because shadows are created by humans.
yeah.
So
Okay.
there's that. While demons are, well, their own thing. They like it depending on
Yeah.
the mythology they come from wherever. So
Okay.
that's usually a big difference.
Yeah. So I feel like Persona, if they haven't already done it, could probably eventually like explore entirely different worlds. Cause like isn't that basically what they do in Shin Megami Tensei? Like they have a I forgot what it is, but they have just like multiple worlds. Like cause the demons come from an entirely different world, don't they?
I'm not really a big Shin Megami Tensei fan. I haven't played any of their games. I only play Persona, but it kind of think it's like Fate. Honestly, it depends on the series. Like
Mm.
a whole bunch of stuff could be totally different compared to it. Like Persona is technically a spin-off, but it's also part of the Shin Megami Tensei timeline. It's just like it's its own thing, and it's the only thing that like really it's considered a spin-off is because it's inspired by Shin Megami Tensei If, and that's basically where mostly because of the high school setting and stuff. I think Shin Megami Tensei, most of it's adults and college people, while Persona is mostly high school
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. The world building. It sounds like it has a lot of potential. Now, just like Lion, you got me a little excited to start Persona because I really like world building as well.
Yeah, yeah. I want people to get into it because, well, for one thing, my videos, I need somebody else to do my anime discussions for when I have to make a Persona anime discussion. But also, it's really cool to talk to people about Persona, and also like, I mean, one thing that is pretty bad about the Persona fan base is that waifu fights can go on forever, and also they can be as brutal as like Fate timeline fans.
Mm.
So
I see.
yeah, that's the one thing you probably need to be careful about.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez, now that just gave me a a nice podcast idea, but I'll save that for later. Um, but yeah, I feel kind of left out because both you and Lion changed your animes, and then I just kept mine from before. So I'm not gonna make go on a whole different tangent, but I just wanna bring up another one that has a really good art and OST. Probably predictable, yeah, but Bleach has really good art and
Yeah.
OST. I feel like specifically OST is why I wanted to bring it up because I just like how it's how every like faction, I guess you could say, has like a different type of traditional music. Like Soul Reapers have Japanese music, Spada have like Spanish music. Who else is there? Like the Quincy's have German music. Yeah, it just goes on and on. the arc that we never talk about, the Bound arc, the worst arc in the series, that has like I forgot what it was, something else, but the music there was pretty good, at least. But yeah, just wanted to bring up Bleach real quick for OST. Yeah.
I do agree. Bleach OST, the one. Well, actually, one of my favorite ones is the sad soundtrack
Oh.
that you mostly listen to. That was actually pretty cool. And like I heard someone play it on the piano, and man, I was like, this got just like 10 times sadder. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh my goodness, I'm crying to. There's no point in life.
Yeah. I mean, I guess since this episode is a little short, we can talk about like why we like those things so much, those aspects of like anime. Like for me personally, I know like I like a really nice OST, cuz like you said, it really like if it fits with the emotion, it can like put you in different places. It's like One Piece is one that does that really well. Like the OSTs are just, they always match like what you're going through and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
feel like if you don't really have an OST that matches like the scene you're going through, or like the themes and stuff like that, it's kind of it's kind of weird. It doesn't really work. I feel like I feel
Yeah.
like anime, I haven't really seen any anime that were just terrible when it came to that, like the timing of the OSTs and soundtracks. But I feel like if they knew that they were bad at it, they just flat out wouldn't play music during any scenes that they knew they
Yeah.
didn't really know if it would work with. Um, like I said before, I don't really have much to say about art. While like I just like it, it's cool. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm more of like a story guy. But I will
Yeah.
say that art is pretty cool overall, and just to have like in a series, because
Yeah.
it attracts more people to the series. I feel like I feel like a lot of people are lying if they say like certain series aren't carried by art and animation sometimes, because they're not completely carried, obviously, because they're not, it's not completely based off of that, but it does help a lot if like say an anime adaptation, like it has art way better than the original source material and stuff. But
Yeah.
I feel like art, it doesn't really make a difference for me, but it makes a difference for a lot of other people and whether they get into the series. And I feel like just art in general, it can help the series sometimes. For example, I think we were talking about this before, but we watched a video on the evolution of the art of Bleach, and the art in the war arc, which obviously wars are more dark and stuff, is more like
Yeah.
just dark art and stuff like that. And this is the manga, yes, but also I feel like, hopefully they do this in the anime when it comes in October. But yeah, I feel like for that, for darker arcs and darker moments, using more shading and stuff like that is really cool. And being good at art and knowing when to use uh certain like methods is really important. But yeah, that's why I like those two, art and OST.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll get into my point. The reason why I really like world building and also story is mostly because that's, as a person who is trying to be an author, I really do like storytell. I really do how stories can be like the form of stories itself. I don't really care about the art itself. It's very rare for me to actually like something with art, because it could be like the most beautiful anime ever, but if the story itself is bad, then it's like, to me, like it's a bad anime. Like even though its artwork is great, its story's not that good. I think the only time I've actually said like art is like the key factor into why I like it was Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
and that's mostly because I've read the manga and I already know how it ends, and as an adaptation I see it and I'm like, this is better than what I was reading in the manga. I was, and I still do agree. Like even though OSTs like They help boost like what a situation is, and the art can make something look really presentable and really enjoyable. And in my opinion, if you don't have a good story for me to actually get into, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
world building. Um, I'm a person. I am a intellectual compared to the other two. I I read actual books, so I'm no stranger to like the incredible world building of like Tolkien's works or the political world building of George Martin's works. But most of it, but, and but sometimes some stories don't have world building as much, so like they might have a little bit, but it's not too deep and stuff, which is fine because as long as the story's good. But if it has like great world building, like even though I really don't really care about Mushoku Tensei, I do agree the author was pretty uh, advanced in terms of like anime and manga status when it comes to like his language building and stuff. Even though it's not spoken, like I don't think he has a spoken language, just mostly a alphabet. So
Mhm.
he has an alphabet going. If I don't know if he actually has some speech and stuff like in like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, but if 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 there is a speech, that would be pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
I I really like world. I just really like world building because I'm also a history person. I really do know a lot about history, mostly European history because I haven't really looked into Japanese or any other history. Mostly just the European ones, and also like modern, a
Okay.
bit modern. So like Napoleonic Wars, even though that's not even considered modern. Um, but I really do like history. That's why I usually am on board with like world building and stuff. And yeah, that's my thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, with world building, I agree. I really like it. I really like it. Granted, like you said, you're a lot more of the expert on world building. So when it comes to world building, you know, I mostly like just like the lore on different in different places in the world and stuff like that. Like for example, Black Clover, it has the Spade Kingdom, the Diamond Kingdom, the Heart Kingdom, and the I know it's just cards, but somehow I'm forgetting. But
Yeah.
for those, I feel like and this is one of the reasons why Black Clover I don't really like I like Black Clover, but it's kind of I feel like lackluster in its world building because it doesn't really explain on the lore or basically like go deeper into it and stuff like that. Because with everywhere that we've been so far and everywhere that we know about it, um, I feel like they should have expanded upon like the lore of at least some one of those places, but we don't really know anything about the Clover Kingdom. We don't really know anything about the Heart Kingdom or the Spade Kingdom. They touched on like a couple things like the monarchy or whatever. Like we know if you've read the manga, you know about the monarchy and like who the kings of and the princes of the Spade Kingdom are, and you know
Mm.
that like in the a little bit of like the Clover Kingdom stuff or whatever. The three families you have or not three families, but yeah, three families. It's the I forgot his name. The Clover King. You have the Vermilion family, and then you have the Silva family. But I feel like that's not enough. Like you need more than just families and royalty and stuff like that. They really haven't expanded upon it. I feel like the world is just too big to have left that stuff out. And that's not even counting the fact that these are just four continents, and we might even have like, or not four continents, but like this could be like four countries and a single continent, and there could be completely different places in the world of Black Clover. I feel like
Yeah.
it really makes a difference if you know how to actually use your world building well. But if you do, it really pulls you in. But I feel like I'm sort of in between. Like I said, I care about like the lore and stuff, but as far as like the deeper, more complex things like the languages and stuff, I don't really
Yeah.
go that deep into it. Um, and definitely not the I know I don't do like the alphabet, but definitely not the languages because I feel like that's a lot more complicated than the alphabet and stuff like that. You at least like have symbols and stuff you can memorize, but with language it's like
Yeah.
way harder. But I feel like world building, even though I don't take it, to extreme level of interest, it's still very important. And I really like it, but you really have to be able to do it well if you're gonna put like, or at least try to use some of it in your story. Like you can't put half effort into it or anything.
Yeah. 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 Lion, are you here? He's still gone. He's still gone.
Yeah.
Um.
Man.
Oh, he just
Yeah,
he just came back.
I was gonna say, I guess
Wow.
I was gonna say, I guess you and I can talk about characters in the meanwhile, but that's not our topic. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on?
Okay. So because we got a little bit extra time, I talked about world building, like what I like about it. Tenza talked about what's it called?
What I like about OST and art.
Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now you just final thing. You just talk about why you like characters. So, what or not just in your anime, but just in anime in general, like what you like about characters.
Okay. Okay. So the reason why I like characters most is because we see them, often, right? And I like to see, of course, the development of the characters. I mean, the basic example is, of course, Mr. Tensei that I can think of for character development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Lawn series, I don't really remember the characters. But I mean, because the characters are the most relatable after all, right? Because we can't relate. Oh, hey, I got transported in a different world.
Yeah.
So I look at characters because it's relatable, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you say that, yeah, I actually really like characters too. I feel like relatability is one of my favorite things because going back to like one of our I think it was like the I don't even remember, like 2 podcast episodes or something ago. It's hard to remember, but we were talking about what was it we were talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about like our favorite genres, and yeah, one of the things that I really like in a supernatural series is that like a lot of the times they're grounded in like more of a modern world and stuff like that, and I like how like for Bleach it's like they're going to school as regular students, and you have Kimono Jihen, they're like it takes place in a more modern world and it just feels more relatable when it's like in a world that is like similar to ours and has technology and stuff. Like we can't really relate to like calling people on snail phones like One Piece or or sailing across the ocean, but when you're just going to school and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of supernatural anime do that well, or just fiction in general. But I really love relatability because I can see myself in some of the characters' shoes, and like I'd be able to, if they have a hard decision to make, like it's like what would I do in their position and stuff like that. But I really love relatability and just characters in general.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like Rent a Girlfriend, for example.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's like, especially Rent a Girlfriend, because it's like you have like these 4 girls. It's like, it's like the choices that they like. I haven't watched it, but I know pretty much everything about it since everybody always talks about it. It's like, what would you do in his situation if you have this girl and it's like you want to tell the truth and it's like about whether she's the fact that she's not actually your girlfriend, and it's like then she gets all complicated and stuff like that. It's really weird. It's like, what would you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. which I guess is another podcast idea. What would you do in this anime character's position?
Yeah.
Better enough to do anything, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah. I guess I'll give my thoughts on characters. I'm fine with character development, but honestly, I prefer no, I don't prefer if a character stays put because I like the character development of stuff, but my thing is really I actually like it when a character's personality changes. Like so like what I mean is like I'll be the intellectual and not say Jaime Lannister, even though people are probably wondering what I mean. Yes, he's pretty. So when you meet him, he's pretty bad. He's a person who's like arrogant. He basically craps on everyone's beliefs, saying like honor's terrible, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And also like the gods don't exist, so like why should you care about him and stuff. But later on, and he also screws his sister, but
Wow.
and has children with her, so you know that's actually pretty that's pretty really stepping in. But anyways, the reason why I like his character yes, yeah, basically. But one thing I like about it is that his personality changes. So like towards after, like he goes on this journey where he loses everything. So like he loses his right hand.
Yeah.
So basically the things he likes to do is fight, and he also likes to bang his sister. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, it's very disgusting. It's Game of Thrones, so if you can't really handle that, then honestly, yeah, you definitely shouldn't watch the show. But the one thing that he learns is that the life he was living was terrible. Like he almost killed a kid because that kid found out that his sister and him were screwing each other, and the thing he realizes also his family's terrible. Like they manipulate people. They would do anything for power is basically what they would do. And he realizes this is not why I want to live. And unlike in the TV show where he stays in King's Landing and actually like stays with his sister the whole time, in the book he actually leaves and tries to become his own person. He eventually looks at like he knows people see him as the person who's dishonorable, the person who is like he's basically like the person who's like the worst person ever. But he learns that, you know, at some point I need to change like my thing. I need to change. I can't be looked at as the Kingslayer. I should be looked at as Jaime Lannister, like my own person. He shouldn't care about like. He shouldn't care about like. He shouldn't try to hide what he did. He should actually embrace it and try to actually do some good in his life instead of just trying to basically treat everyone like trash because they think he is trash and stuff. So I like character development, but mostly if their personality changes, because Naruto's personality is like the same. Like I say I don't like Naruto because his personality is always the same and stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense. Like, why the heck are you the same? Even though, like, as an adult, he is pretty good. He's a little bit better, but it's still more of the same. Same thing with like Rudius. He's still a pervert after so long.
He's human. Yes.
He's human. Yeah.
He's
okay,
man.
Dude. Okay, dude. In society. Yeah, that's understandable, but I don't want to see this guy talk about sex like we're talking about anime, okay? That's not how I want
to live. Have you never had a conversation with your friends about it?
I try not to.
See, that's the thing. I see it now. It's me and on the team. It's relatability once again. It's you're more of a fantasy guy. You know
I,
what I'm saying?
well, you can have relatability too. It's just my thing is I don't want to relate to the person because I don't like. For some reason, for me, I don't see myself in the person. I always see them as their own person. So if I could relate to the guy, to me, I see me, and honestly, I think I'm a pretty bad person. Like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't. To be honest, if I was in a fantasy world, I would be by myself most of the time. I wouldn't go in a party. I wouldn't go all that stuff. I would be by myself and just see what I could do. I would be a loner, basically. So the only people I can relate to are like the loner types and stuff. But when I see a person who like does all this stuff, I don't want to and he goes through like a big change and stuff. I like that because I don't see me in that, but I like seeing other people go through the change. It it kind of inspires me because it's like I could change myself because this guy, especially like with Jamie Lannister, he was a total like jerk to everybody.
Yeah.
Like he had some redeeming qualities, but like when you first meet him, it was like, yeah, this guy, like, how can you redeem himself? How could he redeem himself? But now he's at a point where it's like I can actually see him become not only a better person, but also a person I could root for, and that inspires me to actually try to do my best when I go and do other things
Okay.
or just live my life.
Okay. I feel like you would probably relate more to like it's kind of weird how it works because you say you wouldn't be in a party if you were like in that type of world, but by the way, sorry if my mic keeps going up like crazy. I don't know why that's happening, but um yeah, I feel like you would probably be like a Kazuma situation, not for the same reason, because like I said, you're not so similar in the fact that you want to be in a party. Like he wanted to be in a party, but I feel like you'd be similar in the fact that you're forced into it, kind of, because it's important. Like for him, he wanted to be in a party, but he just couldn't find a good one, and he basically assumed that Megumin was like a good person to be in a party with because she has explosion magic, but just like all the other members of that party, they're kind of useless. Like her explosion magic doesn't work, and Darkness is like a masochist, and Aqua is just useless. But I feel like you'd be like kind of forced into that situation regardless. It really just depends. Like I don't know what it really depends on, but if the world is like more of a gag world or something like that, if you end up in an actual good party and stuff. But yeah, I mean, in that sense, I feel like you could find more relatability. But yeah, most likely, yeah, I if I was in that kind of world, I'd probably be a loner too, maybe.
Yeah. That's my thoughts on characters. I don't know if that helped you guys understand why I like writing characters, but that's just me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I guess we can end it here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's all our thoughts on our different different aspects of different just fiction in general. I guess it's not really an anime thing, OST and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those are our anime and our thoughts on our different stuff about our different anime. Thank you guys again for watching the Radio Trigger podcast. Once again, this has been me, Tensashinra, and my co-hosts, Tony Outline and the Anime Bro. Any final thoughts?
Well, if we're talking about OST, I think everyone knows Game of Thrones opening. Like, that's right there.
I don't know about that one. I've never heard.
I should actually show it. I should actually show it to you after this. After this, I'll show it a quick thing.
Yeah, I'll
think they open it.
I'll see it afterwards. I feel like
It's.
I feel like it's just Viking music or something. That's what I'm expecting. I don't know.
It's an okay opening.
Okay.
If it was an anime, it would be top 10 anime. I'm just saying.
I like the more calm music when it comes to
Yeah.
intros.
Well, if we're gonna talk about like our preferences on this on this stuff, like I could probably recommend you like a couple anime that's has chill music. Like like I know a lot of the what's his name, Shinichiro Watanabe or something. He does like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop and stuff. He does like a lot of musical anime and stuff like that. So
All right,
yeah.
I'm kind of already regretting this Game of Thrones thing. Let's just end this quickly. Let's.
All right. So thank you guys. Well, I already said that, but yeah. Come back next time. Links will be in the description, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.